Buenos dias, everybody. Bienvenidos. Another preguntas and answers, question answer session here. Hey, like my Spanglish is going to serve me well as I prepare for more adventures. And good to see all of you. Yes, I know I used to do a monthly Q&A, but that's when the volume of comments and the volume of videos was much less than it is now. And every day across thousands of videos, getting hundreds of comments, it's a lot to sort through, answer, at least give a heart on one, or at least to read it, much less picking out the questions that are in there. So a lot of these come by email and just ones that randomly catch my eye as I go through. The month of May was a excellent month, highlighted by a real pickup in travel to up on the Pacific Coast Highway, down on the Pacific Coast Highway, Mexico. You guys really enjoyed the videos there. So let's get to the Q&A. Also went to Slab City, which was a very watched series of videos. Question I got: why bother going to a place like Slab City? Isn't it a wasteland of losers? I'm sure there's losers in there, but there's winners in there too. And there's some people that just don't, they want that solo lifestyle. They want that, or they seek out that communal lifestyle where they're not part of the rat race, where they're not in there competing to see who has the biggest latest and greatest model Benz and the nicest lawns and flower beds, and you know what I'm saying, or the nicest vacation home. It's all part of the panorama of human existence, and that's what makes it so colorful and so great, is that you can find people that love to live that very simplistic life. And yes, I'm sure there's losers, plenty of them, and tweakers and crackheads and things, but there's also a ton of very interesting people that are interested in living an alternative life. And as numbers show, I doubt if I did a series on life in Beverly Hills, it would get 1/10 of the play that examining a day in Slab City would get, because let's face it, it's part of the color, it's part of the pepper, part of the spice. It makes life interesting, particularly here on YouTube. And it's something that I've been fearless to travel anywhere and bring back stories. What camera do you use for your videography? Please tell me so I can buy one. The quality is excellent. Most of my stuff for years has been done on the Samsung Galaxy S9, well, S5 first, the S9 Plus, and then the S10 Plus. And I've been using the S10 Plus to S10 Plus for about 2 years, because I've learned that I can press that camera built into that phone to the limits, and combined with a little in-camera editing with Power Director by CheapRvliving, I can achieve a pretty good look on a lot of my videos, and have the convenience of just having something that I'm going to carry anyway, i.e. a cell phone that can do so many things: pay bills, operate as a calculator, play Angry Birds, whatever you want to do. I can't do that on a regular camera, but I am going to be starting to carry my ZV-1. But I certainly recommend the standard answer is the best camera is the one that you already have on there, okay? And always strive for better quality. Here's the other follow-on question. What is your #1 tip for using a camera for YouTube videos? Unless you're incredibly good at holding a camera steady, frame your video shots. You don't always have to be walking and jiggling a camera, okay? It's very disconcerting to watch shaky videos. Best thing to do is just invest into a cheap tripod, sit your camera on it, and collect a lot of still videos. They come together very well. They can be very watchable. And if you're going to use a lot of camera movement like I do, make sure you either have a gimbal or you have your stabilization feature on your camera. So my number one tip would be no shaky vids, and a few other, pay attention to audio too. It's very important. I'm very glad that Power Director by CheapRvliving, my in-phone editing software, now has a noise blanking, denoising feature for noisy streets that allows me to block out a lot of that sound of the streets. Here's one I get a lot. People send me a lot of stuff to wear. Obviously, I got some rompers, but in between and spiked in is a lot of bikinis, and particularly micro bikinis, some of the tiniest things that you could ever imagine squeezing into. And this person says, I send you a new bikini every year, but you don't wear them on YouTube. Why? Because, well, number one, I wouldn't be able to move, number one, or the girls would be massively popping out the side or worse, right? Given the huge size of them and thing. I mean, I like the look of them, and it's not going to be an issue off platform on other places. I think that's fine, and that's appropriate to do that. But YouTube has changed a lot. It's not as fun and freewheeling as it used to be, and also a lot of men and women have really pushed the envelope in terms of sending ever tinier. This year's Dorito bikini was just like a Band-Aid spots. I mean, it was just like, I'd have to work it pretty hard and tape it all down. It is so micro. I mean, it's sexy as hell looking, but it's not really functional for YouTube, okay? So I'm just saying, but there are other alternatives to spice up things, and I do appreciate getting them, and I will wear them, no matter how daring it is or whatever. So thank you. Okay, I have 2 drawers full of probably 500 bikinis. They still keep making them for me over in China, but they just start to get impossibly small, which I like, but it's no. Here's one. Isn't being a people person risky? And this person's like, I mean, WTF, you meet some random dude in Mexico and you pop in a taxi in a foreign country and go jetting off to the countryside. The thought did cross my mind. And I have to be a pretty quick study of people to decide, but let's face it, when I interact with people, it's some of the most fun and watchable videos that I produce. The cinematic things are great, okay? But we know, especially the community where I grew my roots in, that there's very little interest in mainstream interest beyond drama and tearing people up on streams, which is fine and it's fun, but it takes a long time to grow another audience. But I have noticed that people love that venturing off and meeting people and talking to people. It makes it the most fun on YouTube. So yeah, I take a shot. I judge and give it my best shot. Let's see. How do I meet you on the road? Reach out to me ahead of time and be like a known person. I don't like to do random, hi Rosie, and then a phone number. I'm not going to contact you, okay? Or, hi Rosie, I want to send you some pictures of me, blah, blah, blah. I don't know you. Don't send them, okay? It's got to be people that I know regularly on the chat, because I get fished a lot on here, and I know what to respond to and what to just block and ignore. So reach out to me and let's make it happen. Nobody on YouTube that I know has met more people than I have on an individual basis, and it's been a lot of fun. What has been your biggest disappointments on YouTube? Dealing with YouTube in itself, they keep moving the goalposts. copyright stuff. They do nothing to take the side of the creators. They put all of the weight on the side of the musicians. So everything is a big grand fight, which I'm engaged in and hope within the next 2 weeks to possibly get settled up with YouTube. Of course, you're going to get the occasional bad person, but it's a big platform. And I guess I think the other disappointment to me would be I think some really nice cinematic stuff that takes a lot of time, but that never gets the views. And I think people are kind of cheating themselves when they don't look at things like 50 spectacular miles on the Pacific Coast Highway, or Twilight in Carmel, or a lot of these features that you can enjoy. Yeah, they're not controversial. Nobody's getting torn up. Nobody's getting CPS or Adult Protective Services called on them. But they just have a feel-good factor of experiencing something of beauty. And I think beauty is just as important as the great Luther Burbank, the plant scientist, said. Beauty is important to nurture the soul just as food is to nurture the body. When is OnlyFans coming? Hoping for adult stuff is there. I'm going to try to do photo shoots and stuff like that on there. It's coming. It's coming. But there's only so many hours in a day. And I want to do a calendar and merch. I know. I really need a channel manager to do all this stuff. Then this person, I went to Mendota, which was this town in the Central Valley that had its groundwater destroyed by pesticides and fertilizers and nitrates. And I didn't think that the video would be as popular as it was. And this person says, because I called it, I think I'm the first tourist to ever visit this town, and I believe that's going to be part of an ongoing series, and it's probably true. But this person says, please, please, please do more obscure and unknown towns that no tourist ever visits. They are the most fascinating, like the town of Mendota. They kind of are. And I would agree. We all know what the Eiffel Tower looks like, the Louvre. We all know what the Golden Gate Bridge looks like. But I don't think a lot of people ever really knew Mendota, California, and the struggles they encountered in the cantaloupe capital of the world. So noted, and it will be part of the program. 10, how do you stay young looking? Drink lots of water and stay hydrated. We get older, it tends to be caffeine, teas, and coffees, and our water intake drops dramatically. I fill a pitcher of 0 water every single day and empty that by the time I go to bed. Exercise, even walking, keeps you mobile, keeps you limber, keeps you from getting frozen. I'm glad also I quit smoking what little bit I was doing at the end. And of course, here's your bonus question. The number one question of all time that I always get is, how big are your boobs? All throughout 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and into 21. They've gone from double D's to almost quad D's because being on hormones, they just don't know to stop growing. Okay? And I love that. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thumbs up and comments are appreciated, and enjoy the rest of your day. We had the June gloom here. I had the fireplace on. Have a good one, everyone.